Let's cut through the fluff. One of the reasons why men are not lining up to date you is because of your high student loan debt. Not your smile, not your personality, not your height or your hair. It's the 5 or 6 figures of money you owe for that degree that's still hanging on your wall while your bank account is gasping for air. Men notice it. They may not say it out loud, but they do the math in their heads and the numbers don't lie. Student debt is a financial anchor. It drags you down, it drags your credit score down, limits your flexibility, and impacts big life decisions like buying a home or having kids. When a man considers dating you seriously, he's also, whether consciously or not, evaluating the potential for a shared financial future. If your monthly loan payment is half a rent check and you're still living paycheck to paycheck, that doesn't exactly scream partnership material. It screams liability. It's not personal, it's practical. Relationships, especially the ones meant to go to the distance, involve more than love and chemistry. They involve budgeting, planning, and merging lives. A mountain of student loan debt complicates that process. For men who are already hustling to stay afloat in today's economy, the thought of taking on someone else's financial burden is more of a deal breaker than bad taste in music or you being into astrology. And let's be honest, if the roles were reversed, you might hesitate too. If a guy told you he was $150,000 in student loan debt from a liberal arts degree he never used, would you feel confident building a future with him? Or would you wonder what kind of judgment leads someone into that situation? Fair or not, debt reflects decisions, and people judge decisions, especially the ones that echo for decades. Men don't want to feel like they're rescuing someone from their financial mess. It's not about being selfish, it's about self-preservation. They want partners, not projects. When your debt looms larger than your income, it sends a message that your life might be harder to merge with than someone who has their finances in check. No one wants to inherit problems they didn't cause, especially if the dating market, especially like in a dating market where there are options without that baggage. Does this mean you're unworthy of love or doomed to a life of loneliness? No, but it does mean you need to be realistic. Debt doesn't make you a bad person, but it does carry consequences, socially, emotionally, and romantically. Owning that reality is the first step. So stop acting like it's just a part of life and start treating it like a major hurdle it is, because that's how others are viewing it. And, this is why, in my opinion, I feel like, more men are kind of like opting out marriages because it's just like, women do have a higher student loan debt than men. And, men don't want to deal with that financial burden. So that's why, they're not marrying women as often. And I feel like that's one of the reasons. And like, if you look at the statistics, especially like with, black women, right? Because a lot of people say that black women, are the least married in the United States, and it's true. And that could simply be because of their high student loan debt, because statistically, out of all the races of women, black women have the highest student loan debt. And that could be one of the reasons why, the marriage rates within black women are low, in my opinion. That could be another factor because of the high student loan debt. And, men don't want to deal with that. So, yeah, what do you guys think?